9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
What's going on, everybody? We got a special guest today here on Well That F and Figures. Lael from 1/6 Scale Man 2099. Welcome to the show, man. How you doing today?
Oh man, appreciate the invite, man.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate
Yeah, definitely,
the time.
man.
I know you got a show this morning at 11 o'clock too. You're in New York, correct?
Nah, I'm in Pennsylvania now. I used to live in New
okay.
York, but I'm in Pennsylvania right now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. That's
Okay. We're real close then, because I'm in Maryland.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we've been getting some decent weather around here, not like we used to anyway.
You're in Maryland?
I'm in Maryland, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right around. Right around. I think they said today is supposed to be like what, rainy and snowy or something like that. I don't know. That's what they said though.
What is it? It's like rainy and I think a little windy, and it's kind of like we're getting the weather now we should have got last month, but it's kind of
like
backwards,
all of a
man.
Sudden we're starting to get this. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm ready for spring. We got to set the clocks up tonight. I think in 2 a.m. You know,
is that tonight?
Yeah. Well, Sunday morning, tonight, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Oh,
do it overnight, yeah. But most of the clocks nowadays they do it by itself. So
I forgot. I completely forgot. That means we lose an hour now.
We do, but actually in the long run, it stays out. It stays nice out later, like lighter out later.
Yeah, lighter out later.
I like that part better anyway.
Usually it takes me like a week to change my clocks over.
Yeah.
I'll get to that.
Yeah, unless you got like everything digital that it automatically flips over and stuff like that, then that's like a constant reminder. So you already know.
Yeah, with the exception of like 2 clocks we have on the wall somewhere in this house, everything else is pretty much Apple, and it changes by itself. Thankfully.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, definitely, man.
I know. I love some antique clocks though. I got a few of them in my house.
Yeah.
You know what? I had one.
Mm-hmm.
I had one I had for about 16 years, bro, and loved that clock. And through moving, we had it packed up. Everything was ready. I didn't even move it in a U-Haul. Had the U-Haul separately done. I had this thing packed up. I put it in the back of my truck and everything. Very careful with moving it over because again, I'd had it for so many years. And got it out the truck. Everything was moved in the house, took it out, got it placed where I needed to be. Everything was fine. On the way in, later on, while we were basically, all we were doing was actually bringing in one of the end tables. And as we brought it in and put it down, one of the kids accidentally slid into it and shattered the glass to the clock.
Oh, damn.
Oh.
Yeah, I was
made it all that way, and then
that way, didn't shatter, didn't do anything. So it was crazy. And because it was antique, we couldn't get the glass, replaced because they didn't have that, frame. Even though they can actually cut it and they can do it, but they wanted to charge your arm and a leg to do it. I'm like, yo, for real, for this? Nah.
Yeah.
No, I bet.
Yeah. So what I did was I have the clock still. Even though the glass is shattered. So a friend of mine who he does glass for like most cathedrals and churches and stuff like that. He's gonna kind of do a little something for me. So but I gotta wait until he gets back. But yeah, that was crazy, man. I was upset.
Yeah. That's crazy when something makes it all that way and at the last
that way and then at the last minute, man. Like, and you think like, I mean, if you got like a full collection of glass detox and stuff like that, and none of that gets hit. Well, that's because none of them come down here, period. So, but but you would think that would be the major target, but no, it was my clock, man. Definitely.
That's how it happens. That's how it goes.
I dread like I want to move someday to Florida or somewhere down south, but I dread moving all this because I know it's gonna take a hit. Probably, it's
bro. That's the worst, man.
Yeah,
that's the worst being a collector, bro. when
Yeah. Yeah.
you gotta move everything. You gotta take
Yeah.
everything out of the display, pack
Mhm.
it up,
Oh
get it
man.
ready, and then move it all. I'm like, oh man, that's the last thing I want to do, bro.
Yeah. I mean, it was bad enough moving before I started this again, but now I
Mhm.
can't even imagine just going through that and, like you said, pack it all up and
Then you gotta move it,
oh
bro.
my
It's just like a
god.
headache.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's
a
the
pain in the ass.
worst. It
Yeah.
is, bro. It is because it's like now, and especially like the biggest problem with us being collectors
Mhm.
is when you get that pose. You get the right pose. You're like,
Exactly.
yo, I spent so much time trying to get this pose.
Right.
Now I got to change it up, and I'm not gonna remember how I did it the first time.
Yeah, and like yeah, because it took like for one, it took me so long to get my artillery trooper on his
Yeah,
knee, looking
yeah.
like he's about to, shoot the
Hmm.
And
the cannon, and then I'm like, man, I don't know if I can
Yeah,
do that again. I ain't touched it since. I'm like,
yeah,
shit.
people
bro.
don't
Yeah.
understand, man. Posing is like an art form.
Hmm.
It is,
Hmm.
bro. It
Yeah.
is.
Seriously.
You're spinning. I mean, and the thing is, especially if you're trying to capture that realism.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
about just, you know, giving like you have to have the right ankle pivot, the right waist turn. You have to
Hmm.
have like the right crunch in the abdomen. You have to have the hands positioned a certain way. Everything
Yeah.
has to have a certain level of accuracy. And we already know what 1/6 scale figures, especially if you have a gun,
Oh,
it is the
it is.
hardest
It
to
is.
actually pose that figure where
Hmm.
it looks
Right.
realistic.
Because
So
you want it to look good. You don't want to break that arm either
nah,
at the
you
same
don't,
time, man.
you
The
don't. If you got a
smallest.
scope, yeah, that's like the smallest detail, bro. You
Yep.
Yeah.
just nah.
So that brings us into and like that really rolls into what I was going to bring up next. Like you dedicate a whole show,
Yeah.
Figure Flex Friday,
Yes,
which I
bro.
love, and I try to get it in there as much as I can and watch it.
Yeah, bro.
But it's a pretty neat idea that you had
Mm-hmm.
to
Hmm.
go on and have different people and then show their
Hmm.
flexes and all that, and that's
Yeah,
yeah, it's different, and I enjoy it, man. So yeah, that was one
yeah,
of my favorite shows too, man. There's a lot of my shows on Fridays, man. So
yeah,
there's a lot of catching up to do on Fridays for me.
yeah. It
Luckily, I don't go out
is.
much on Friday anymore.
Yeah. The thing is, like, we come in at a time where we know it's like we don't even call it the twilight hour. We call it
Mhm,
an hour where it's just like, okay, I know a lot of people are in and out or they're getting
mhm,
ready to do certain things. I don't know if there's so we come in at a time like, with me is, it's probably like one of my favorite shows of the week because again, it's a fan showcase. We name it the
mhm.
fan showcase. You know what I mean? Where everybody gets a chance to kind of submit their figures, submit their ideas, everything that's that they want, how they want to. It's like an artistic expression, you know what
It
I mean?
is.
So they get a chance to do it, and we get feedback or not even feedback. We put them in a running to win, for the week and stuff like
Mhm,
that, and everybody comes in and. Like from where we started, like I said, yesterday was our 1 year anniversary of the
mhm.
show.
No,
So
congratulations.
from Yeah, appreciate that. So from where we started to where we are now, and how much these, the fans and everyone who has submitted their idea, their photos, where how far they've come so far. It's just like wow, like what I mean, they're really killing it right now.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I love it.
yeah.
I enjoy it, man.
It's really cool because everybody has their own different way of displaying it. So you like an
Hmm.
idea that you never have, and like you see it on there,
Yeah,
you're like, damn man, how did he do that, or how did he pull that off? And
yeah,
then some of the
yeah,
lighting
man.
they use and all that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Well,
cool to
it's
see
nice that
everybody.
you
You do it.
showcase their stuff too, because like,
Yeah.
they used to use Instagram to showcase their photos and
Yeah,
stuff, and you know how that's going.
Yeah.
So to
yeah,
actually get their stuff out there so people can see it it's
yeah.
awesome. It probably
Mhm.
makes them feel good too.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Like
it's a
I
lot of
think
work too.
it is, bro. And the thing is, it's for them. And
Mhm,
on top of that, like I said, people, not a lot of people. It gives you a chance to kind of get yourself out there to
mhm,
expose. It's like more exposure, broader audience. Like individuals who watch, they critique each other's work.
mhm.
They're interested in it. Like they have a lot of fun doing so. And I'm like, yeah, like to be a part of that. Like the idea, like originally, it was crazy how we did it. We were on BC, my bro BC brother cousins show,
Mm,
and we were on there. It was me, him, Mario. I mean El Profesoro. I think it was Anthony. It was Mafia. There's a whole bunch of us on there, and we just all of a sudden just started flexing figures. We just are just basically doing nothing but just showing figures off and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, you know what? We're going to continue this on next Friday. On the, the next day, we're going to do
Mhm.
Figure Flex Friday. We're going to introduce a new show. Just on the cuff, we just actually did it. So then when we first started, we were showcasing our flexes, and then my girl, she was like, well, why don't you just, have a show where, the fans, whatever. And then Luminar, she created the hashtag Figure Flex Friday.
Mhm.
So from that, spawned the idea, so it started on a Thursday with Mario flexing first. Then my girl mentioned it. Then, Luminar. Then we got Luminar on the show. Then we got, Loco Lou on the show. And then we just stuck with the three and just started doing it every Friday. And it spawns into this. But the thing is, it's like, again, like when we talk about it's therapeutic. One of the things that we're actually doing right now for the month, like we try to have like a themed giveaway. So what we're doing right now is something more so geared towards mental health. I'm definitely an advocate for that, as
Mhm.
having people who have dealt with it before, that I've talked to, and we want to gear it towards, because this stuff that we do, and people don't understand that the spectrum that we exist in, is for individuals and a lot of people who are dealing with mental health. Sometimes this is their therapeutic session. This is their therapy. So part of having a show is to have a space where people can really express themselves and not feel judged because they collect, not feel judged because they're so submersed in this space. So like that's part of how we do it, and with this giveaway that we're doing right now is going to be
Mhm.
expired by. So yeah.
Yeah, I got to give you a lot of respect for that, even more than I already had for you. Now that you mentioned the mental health thing, because me and Colin, we also are involved in a little bit of that with
Yeah.
another friend of ours, and I may have to talk to you behind the scenes about something we have coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't
That's what's
mind,
up, man.
we'll
That's
chat
what's
about
up.
that.
Definitely, bro. Definitely.
Anything with mental health, because I know me, Colin, and a lot of us, we've been through a lot of shit,
Yeah,
and
bro. Yeah, bro.
and just to be able, like I say, to come in this room and put all the bad stuff out, and then
Yeah,
just look at
bro.
what I have and enjoy it,
Yeah,
and that
bro.
makes me feel a whole lot better, because
Mm-hmm.
all the memories that could be bad, these bring the memories that are good out of it. So
Yeah,
if that
bro.
makes sense, so
Yeah, bro. That's the thing. This is what we
yeah,
do it for. Like, and I
yeah.
mean, I could have, within the last couple of years, bro, like, I mean, what, 2019, 2020 was horrible. Like, all of us were
Mhm.
stuck in the house. We couldn't really
Right,
do anything. You know what I mean?
right,
This is all
right.
we had was collecting. You know what I mean? The only
Yeah.
thing that you could do, and luckily enough, if you had that, there was a lot of people didn't have things like this. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Weren't fortunate enough to, be able to, really communicate, stream, and, do things like that. So
Mhm.
now that you have that space where you can exist in, it's even better. But again, like being stuck in a home and dealing with certain things, issues, people being laid off, whether it's expenses, whether it's just health in general, losing family members, stuff like that. That's enough that it kind of really messes with you. I mean,
Yeah.
we've dealt with it. Like sometimes it's an emotional overload, sometimes we need to reboot.
Mhm.
Um so having this space, for us, I figure, like, and I always say, like, this community, we're blessed, we're fortunate that we have an outlet that we can kind of break away from reality and come here
Mhm.
and just kind of decompress and enjoy everything that we have, enjoy these IPs, more nostalgic and stuff like that. So we're fortunate to have that space, man.
Definitely. Yeah, we say it all the time, man. It's like an escape, and
Hmm.
just having people like you and like everybody else we've had on the show, we have each other,
Yeah,
and
bro.
if we need each other, we just talk.
And reach out. Just
Yeah.
reach
I
out,
mean,
be like, yo, I'm
there's
dealing
not a
with
human
this.
alive that hasn't been through shit,
Yeah,
and
bro.
some people
Truth.
just don't want to talk about it, and some
Truth.
people handle it their own
You know,
ways, and
a
True
lot of
story.
times just talking to somebody or just knowing that there's somebody else going through shit that you've been
Yeah.
through just
Yeah.
does it right there for him. It
Mhm.
just helps him
Yeah, it
so much,
does. It
Yeah,
definitely does.
yeah, yeah.
Somebody that, can relate. A lot of us can relate, with each other more times than many. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it's a lot of people that are afraid to talk. You know what I
Mhm.
Yep.
mean? They're really, really afraid to open up and to speak. And we try to create that space where they can,
Mhm.
because we know it's hard for a lot of people. So yeah.
Yeah, some people feel like if you, excuse me, if you cry or or just want to talk or get it out or unleash it, you're
Mm-hmm.
weak, but
Mm-hmm.
you can't feel like that. It's
Yeah.
there's like I said, there's not one person alive who has not gone through some bullshit, and
Yeah, bro.
we all need somebody to talk to sometime.
Hell
And
yeah,
honestly, if
man.
they hear us putting the shit on the table, hopefully give probably give them
More
enough
inspiration,
courage
right?
to
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
to
if you could
say
help one
something.
person, that's better than zero, right?
Yep.
So
One person, that's
one
all it starts
person.
with, bro.
Yep,
One individual, man, that can open
exactly.
that door. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Open that space, to have that open dialogue, back and forth exchange.
Mhm.
And or just the exchange of ideas, but also just an exchange of life in general. It
Mhm.
starts with one and we could just spread it. But I think, we, as content creators though, and I always say this, we have such a responsibility to create that space, not a negative space, but a space where people can have these conversations and that
Mhm.
back and forth dialogue, and we can help any way that we can, you know what I mean, like, just remember, like, life is way too short. But in the last, I say 6 7 years, I've lost so many people. You
Mhm.
know what I mean?
Me
And
too. Yep.
whether it was health issues, health inspired, like accidents, or even suicide. You know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
it's there. So
Yeah,
people need to realize it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
definitely. Yeah, I've been through so
There's
much since 2016, kicked it all off. Yeah, but yeah, without
Hmm.
getting too deep into that, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
bro.
just yeah, same thing. Suicides,
Yeah.
just natural deaths even are hard. No matter what it is.
No matter what it is,
And then,
bro.
like you said, 2020 hit,
Hmm.
and thankfully at the time I lived in a townhouse, so we moved since then, but we've had all our decks right next to each other, so we would all go on the
Hmm.
deck and we would drink together and talk, but we wouldn't be near each other because they didn't want
Yeah.
that and all the shit. But it worked out at the time that we had that
Yeah.
little bit of an escape where I could talk to my buddy next door
Hmm.
and we can have
Hmm.
a beer together without really having a beer together. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
the only way we really survived that, because I'm not a homebody really. I like to
Hmm.
go a lot of times,
Yeah, me too,
but
bro.
that kind of calmed me down from that too. Like I don't mind staying home now
Mm-mm.
sometimes. Just
Mm-mm.
come in my
Mm-mm.
room, go in the backyard, chill by the fire pit, whatever it is, on the deck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to get that, listen to music and just try to get all the bad shit out of your mind.
You got to, man. Like I said, you have even in this space, like sometimes we even need a break away from this level of reality that we deal with. You know what I mean? We're always needing that. We
Mhm,
always need that space. So
mhm,
to have that, a lot of people don't understand. Like, we do this thing. Like me, and it's my fault. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely my fault, but I love the dialogue. I love open dialogue, and
mhm,
having so many shows on my channel. Sometimes it's like, yeah, you need to break away from it, bro, because
mhm,
it consumes you. Even though it's fun, even though, like I said, you're creating a space for other people, and you
mhm,
love the exchange, and you just love, bouncing back and forth with individuals and meeting individuals such as yourself and
mhm.
everybody else. Um, Still, you need to break away from it. Like you
You do.
it's like you gotta literally move away from it and say, you know what, let me just kind of take a few days off, or I mean, a
You
week
got to.
off, and just kind of do it. Because if you don't, it's just like you get stuck in a rut. So you
Yeah,
definitely need that, man.
too
definitely. And
much of one thing is never good.
no, no.
Never
And you
good,
know what?
bro.
And you got such good shit going on. We're all going to be back. When you come back from vacation, we're still going to be there. You ain't never have to worry about that,
Yeah,
man. So,
exactly,
so,
exactly. That's what it is.
yeah,
That's what it's all
if they
about.
follow you and really love what you do, like I know most people do that, because you have a hell of a following,
Yeah, man. It's you
they're
know
going to be
what,
there.
literally, bro, it's a blessing. Because again, I always, give credit where credit is due. Like, my girl is the one who told me to exist in this space. And she's been very supportive since the day I met her. You know what I mean? She's the
Mhm,
one who pushed for it. I said, why don't you just go ahead and do it? Like, you know what I mean? This
mhm,
is something that you love, you have a passion for, you have a voice in the community. Well, might as well just go ahead and do it. And I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? But then, doing it, I was like, I see that, it was just creating that, some of us, like, we've had aspirations to do certain things, but sometimes you're given tools in one aspect of your life where if this works, it can branch off into everything else. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And if you miss this opportunity and just say nah, then that's it might fleet away. So
Yeah.
that's why I was like, yeah, let me just go ahead and just do it.
Yeah,
just
and you
take the
see, like
initiative and do it.
we've been talking about that the past few weeks with a lot of our guests, how much the wife or the girlfriend is so involved, and we're so lucky to have good people like that.
Yeah, bro.
Because, like I said, my wife is, when I came to her with all these ideas of what I wanted to do and why I wanted to do them, she was so supportive with me as well.
Yeah, bro.
And I didn't know how she was going to react to, hey, I want to start collecting toys, figures again. And
yeah, bro.
she's been as much as like been to like the store and say, hey, do you have this? And she'll take pictures and she'll find shit that I never thought I'd find, man. So we're all very lucky.
One accord, man. That's
to
it.
have that.
Yeah, we are, bro. We're lucky in what we believe. You know what I mean? Like we are. Just to have that space, just to have that interaction with loved ones and people we've because again, like it's one of those situations where and the thing is I've been I before her, my ex-wife wasn't as supportive. You know what I mean? Like she was supportive in certain aspects of it, but then she looked at this type of thing, this type of situation, and this is even before I started majorly collecting. She just looked at it as, oh, that's just that little hobby, that little thing that you do, and I'm like, wow, like you don't understand how long I've been doing this and how much of a passion I have for it. Meeting Toya, she was just like right off the rip, like, wow, like that's fascinating, and asking questions and wanting to get into it. Like I remember like meeting her, she was like, yo, I've always wanted to watch Star Wars, but I never had anybody to watch with me. You know what I mean? And now that I have you to really watch and help me to, because she's, she had, what attracted me to her is like when we first met, I went through her pictures and all that, and she had a Darth Vader onesie, and I was like, yep, that's it.
That's the one for me, right?
That's the one for me. You ain't
right.
got to say another word. That is the one for me.
Yeah.
And ever since then, yep, we never look back.
Yeah, Star Wars has been a big part of my life too. Like it's been a constant since I was about 4 years old, man. So it's like, I've always watched it through the years. And when they started making prequels and shit, I was on cloud nine, man, because I was like, wow, what are they gonna do with these and how are they gonna work them out? But for the most part, they've done a tremendous job.
Yeah, definitely.
What's crazy about Star Wars is it'll be around forever.
Yeah, bro.
It'll be around forever. Things will come and go, but Star Wars will always be there.
It's gonna always be there, bro.
It's crazy to think about. Like,
it's
our
kids,
divisive. kids. They'll be watching
exactly,
Star
bro.
Wars.
Yeah, and it kind of never goes out of style. It will never go out of style because they keep developing and moving forward with things. And
it's such a big world. Like they can just keep, they can just keep going. There's no, they can change stuff. They can.
Yeah, when kids they love that. They love the helmet, like the masks and the outfit. They love that type, so they gravitate towards it. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. It's like,
honestly, I don't think you can say that about any other like IP. Like
probably not. No.
You can't. I mean, there's like when you have it's if it's a legitimate IP, if it's an IP that has like a certain following, like we know like the Terminator has a following. We know that Predator has a following. We know that Harry Potter has a major following.
Right.
You know that Marvel is going to constantly have a following. Star Wars, pretty much I call it the original successful trilogy, has a following and stuff like that. So I mean, this is pretty much what we are in the space that we exist in. When it comes to, like you said, with Star Wars, this is something that's going to span years, and it doesn't matter how divisive it is either, because we have, it's divisive on so many different spectrums. A lot of people, either you love it, you hate it, it's not doing something for you, but but other than that, still, it's going to be there. Like it's something, a space where you can exist in. So it plays a major part in exchange back and forth with people, because like if it wasn't for Star Wars, for me, I mean, I'm old. Like when I say I'm old, I'm old. Like I said, I'll be 50 years old this year. You know what I mean?
Too.
So for me, see, there you go.
Yeah.
So You know what I mean? Like for me, you know, I existed back in 1977 when Star Wars dropped. I was in a theater, you know, and this is when it was Star Wars. It wasn't New Hope. It was Star Wars, you know, at that point.
Exactly.
And, you know, I was there in the theater when that changed me, and it also inspired my imagination, you know what I mean? And where I wanted to go with it and to take those risks and do certain things. So, of course, that's the space I would exist in. And that started my collecting journey way back then. So when I say I've been collecting for years, I've been collecting for decades. Literally, bro. So
yeah, me too. Like I stopped for a long time, but I remember having the little cases with the Star Wars all lined up. Man, I wish I still had them, brother.
Darth Vader.
I still had them.
I still got my Darth Vader case, bro.
Oh man,
my Darth Vader case, you know, with my Kenner 12-inch, bro. Like straight up, I have them all 112. All my figures are basically in there, bro. Like straight up. Now, and that's the thing is, it's like through time you might lose some of the weaponry. You know what I mean? But you still have them. There's still representation there. And then, of course, when we got into the prequels, I was collecting then. You know what I mean? Like it's always been there, bro. Definitely.
Yeah, me too. So I stopped, like, I don't know, I guess when I started getting into like the later years of, you know, high school, you know, all that, I stopped. And then when my son was, you know, me and him collected, and he passed away in 2016. So I stopped like for a long time. And then he was 21. So we had stopped a few years prior, but we always had those memories. But and, you know, during the pandemic, probably like the later part of it, I was like, no, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, I wish I had all those figures again, man. I miss them. He was like, why can't you get them? And I'm like, you know what? You're right, man. Like, why can't I?
Yeah,
why see what I can do?
Exactly,
now
bro.
It's out of control, but it's fun.
Yeah, it is, bro. It's just that they've taken what we started and what we were used to and connected to back then, and this is like an upgrade, a major 2.0 of everything that we've actually inspired back then, with more realism, posing, and you know, articulation is definitely there. The likeness is there. So yeah, bro.
They're pieces of artwork now. I mean,
oh my god,
not only just the figure, but the box it comes in. It's
the art box.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, bro. Like that's when I hear people say, "Yo, I got rid of the art box," I'm like, "What? Like, why would you do that? Like, you never like for me, bro. Here's the thing: I keep the art box and I keep the shipper. I keep them both because I have to protect the art box. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like anything happening. That's right there. The art box itself, you know what I mean, is the price of admission, because you have that, you just love looking at it. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, nah, don't do that. Like,
man, sometimes when I get like a new figure, I'm like, damn, where am I going to display the box? You know? Like,
right.
Yeah, I got a rack in the basement that I keep them all on. Pretty safe spot there, but
yeah, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they put so much work into them boxes, Hot Toys and Sideshow. Like, why are you like, you can't get rid of that, man? You just lost value, because if you ever sell it, or if you ever change
what
your
are you going to sell it in?
Yeah,
definitely, bro. That's the thing. You don't want to lose that value, bro. Like straight up.
No.
It's easier for me to just take the figure, place it back in the clamshell in the art box, have the actual shipper, boom, I'm good to go. You know what I mean? So
Yep. I mean, well, they got real artists doing the artwork for these boxes and shit. You know, like you got to appreciate that shit.
Yeah, bro.
There's nothing like a Hot Toy box, dude. I'm telling you right now. Like, there's not many stores around me. I don't know about around you that sell Hot Toys on the shelf. There's a few of them a couple hours away. But when you walk in and see those, man, I'm like, I gravitate right towards them. I'm like,
it's just right there, bro. Yeah. It's definitely just right there. Like I have like a few one shop that is like, and that's just my local comic book shop. I just go to them and pick up stuff. And that's just one shop that I have within the area. But yeah, that's it. Like other than that, like there's nowhere else you can go to get them unless you're ordering these pieces. So yeah.
There's one store it's probably about an hour and a half from me called I forget the name of it, but they sell Hot Toys. It's in Frederick, Maryland. So once in a while we'll go down there, walk to town, walk along the water, because it's a nice little like river walk. And then I'll throw in, hey babe, let's go to the store where they sell the Hot Toys. And I forget the name of the store, but a buddy of mine told me that I met through the through this whole community. I was down there and I was like, "What's that store you told me about?" And he told me, and I went down there and I walked out with 2 hot toys that day. I couldn't resist. I'm like, I don't know when I'm coming back down here. So
yeah, and that's why like like we were talking about shops like Ray at Underground Figures, because with him, it's a step away from, and it's more, I think it's more like a personal relationship, like where it's like more personalized. I can talk to him about what I want. He'll be like, yeah, sure, I got you. You know what I mean? He'll put it up and have it ready for me. So
Yep.
he's such a good dude.
Yeah, when you told me about that, I know we talked about this backstage, but I know yesterday when I talked to you about it, and I ended up messaging him, and just, I mean, within a few minutes, he was right back at me, and he was like, "Yeah, you can put them on pre-order. I'll take care of you." Yeah, I can tell he's a really good dude, really easy to work with, and
yeah, he is. Bro.
If you haven't heard about that, if you're listening or watching, let's go to undergroundfigures.com, I believe it, .net, undergroundfigures.net, and they'll take care of you.
Yeah, he got you. He got you for sure. Yep.
It's nice about having a place like that is not only do they have the hot toys you can go there and buy or whatever else, but it's somebody that actually cares and takes pride in it. So,
yeah, and like Layal said, he said they send the stuff out really quick too. So when you get it, if it's in stock, you get it really quick. So
extra quick too. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, it's good to have somebody you can actually talk to instead of just a customer service rep where they're going to just get you through the whole system. So
yeah, man, that's the one thing I hate, is to have that space where you're reaching out to somebody, and or you're reaching out to a company, and you get those generic responses, what I mean? So with him, it's just more personalized. I can talk to him and say, "Hey, I'm looking for this, that, and the third." He'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got you, not a problem." So
it's good. And that's what I like, the realness, because like you said, some customer service rep, they're gonna blow smoke up your ass and tell you the same thing they tell a million other people. But us collectors, I'm patient with it because I know they're not out yet. But human nature is like, man, I want to have that in my hand. I want to display it. You can't wait. It's exciting, So, Colin ordered a hot toy for the first time in a while the other day, didn't you, Colin?
Not for the first time in a while.
Well, in a while. Well, yeah, the Star Wars in a while, right?
Yeah, I ordered Mando.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mando. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to, and I figured with the new series out right now, I was like, man, I should probably get this while it's still in stock.
Yeah. Get it while you can.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, and that's what I'm saying, like, even with and I'm going to talk about this more detail tomorrow, but especially with episode 2, season 3, Bo-Katan's journey, and where she's at right now, that figure is going to be hot. It's literally going to be hot. You have so many people right now that are wanting that throne. You know what I mean? They want the throne, not just the figure, but the throne itself. But that figure is going to be hot for a second. So, I mean, I always tell people, if you don't already have it, you might want to seek it out, because, again, it's not going to be available too much longer.
Yeah.
You think they're going to make the throne?
Yeah. I think I honestly believe they will, and because we're definitely going to get another version. We're going to get a second version of Bo. I know we are. I can almost believe that we will. But even now, you have some third parties out there, some companies, so even some people who mod and create their own, are putting out like they do a diorama customs. They actually do a couple of different things. So there's a lot of people out there that are doing them, man, like that have inspiration to do these pieces, and are putting out pictures saying like, this is what we'll be doing. So you'll be able to get it. But yeah, it's gonna be incredible, man.
Yeah, I love the way they've incorporated her more in the show too this season. Like, she's actually like a big part of the show. I love that.
Yeah, she is. She's a major part of the show, bro.
It's gonna be fun to watch. I can't wait till Wednesday to watch the next one.
Yeah.
It's been. Yeah.
You think she's gonna become a believer again?
Yeah.
I
think so.
Well, I mean, because you got to see like the journey. I mean, I don't want to give it away for a lot of people that may haven't seen it already, but her journey right now, I think this season is about redemption on so many different levels, not just for Den, but for her as well. and you know, who better to take that journey with than, you know, two people who in a sense have been completely not exiled, but like they've been, you know,
Yeah.
overlooked and kind of
Shunned,
like
kind of, yeah.
left for whatever. So you'll be able to, you know, I think that, you know, them, especially after episode 2, you know, that it was important to have that episode, because now it's like, all right, how do we take what we know now and move this forward, and, you know, have people, you know, more so vested in, you know, what it is that we know about the religion, what it is we know about the Mandalorian, how do we, you know, put things back into perspective, and, you know, bring Mandalore back to its rightful space and that level of glory, but just change some things at the same time. So I like where it's going, and I like a slow burn. I know people like, well, a lot of people are like, well, that first episode was, I'm like, well, it takes its time to build up, just like anything, and I like that. I like that in the very beginning, where it's, you know, it's just a dialogue exchange, a slow pace, the slow burn, and the next episode you get, it starts ramping up a bit. So there's nowhere else we can go but up from here. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
Right.
slow
And,
and
you know,
steady
those
win the race, man.
those
Yeah.
people, if they would have just started off with a bang, they'd be complaining that they're rushing it. You know, like
Exactly.
let it do what it's got to do. Let it build.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
slow burn too, because
Yeah, definitely,
even, you
man.
know, I watch wrestling. It's the same way. I like stories to continue on, just like a
Mhm.
TV show. You know, I don't want
Yeah,
to just
man.
see, all right, this guy challenges this guy, and then it's over the next week. I want to see like a years of built up,
Mhm.
like they used to do. I love that kind of
Now,
stuff.
the only
Yeah,
thing I
bro.
don't like is the short episodes. That can
The
go away.
short, yeah, and I would have thought that a show that you have as successful as it is so far, I think the longer episodes, I think that if you extend the episodes longer, then, you know, I think that people would understand if it was like maybe you know, 7 or 8 episodes or something like that, because at least you have like an hour-long show that kind of like gives you a bit more. But now it's just like with these 30-minute episodes, 45-minute episodes, sometimes it can feel rushed. Sometimes, you know, it works, but it's not going to work all the time. And I'm like, I don't even like, you know, for most of the Disney Plus Marvel shows, it's like, you know, both on both sides, it's like, yo, why are you giving us like 30-minute shows? Like, it doesn't, these 30-minute episodes, it's like, come on, man. Like, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's that's where they want to exist. You know what I mean? And
Especially
what they
for
think works.
the season opener, you know, like
Yeah, bro.
everybody's been waiting and everything. When you hit us with a
Yeah.
30-minute episode, we're all like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And I
like
think that, yeah.
like last week's episode was so good,
Mhm.
and being shorter, it's like it went by like that. And you're like,
Mhm.
damn, like and you know what? That makes me even more excited for the following week. Maybe that's what they want. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they want. They
Mhm.
want you to, because they don't want to give you everything all at once, and they want you to be more excited.
Mhm.
And I get that.
Yeah.
I get it. I
yeah, but
get that.
they
That's what
can
they want
do
to do.
that without 30-minute episodes either. You know,
Yeah.
they can still
Yeah.
give you that.
Yeah.
It's
They
the
can.
writing. You know, if they have good writing, you're gonna be
Yeah.
waiting for the next episode.
Yeah.
And
And
they
I think
have
that's
the
why I loved Andor so much, because even though it was short episodes, they were a little bit longer, but they were still short episodes, but the dialogue and the interest was there, and that's what kind of kept you engaged, you know, from episode to episode. You couldn't wait to finish it. I mean, it was just
Right.
that incredible. So I mean, it works, but then again, I'm like, you know what, I get it. Like, you know, sometimes an hour-long show would be better. You know what I mean? So
well, they have season 4 written already, I believe. I
yeah,
heard.
they do. Yeah, he
So
said it's already done. Season
mhm.
4 is already written and ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know when they're going to start shooting it, but he said it's already done, so they know what direction that they want to take. So yeah.
Yeah. Because I was thinking like maybe they could have, and I'm not a writer, but they could have moved some of that season 4 stuff into season 3 to make them a little longer episodes. I don't know if that would work, because I don't know what season 4 is going to be like, obviously, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's going to be good though. Either way, it's
Yeah, man.
my
Yeah,
favorite
bro.
show right now. So
Yeah, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's you know, we waited for this, like, bro. Like, I mean, with so much lackluster material that's been out there, you know, lately, you know, I really wanted, I'm saying, like, you know what, this is the same intensity and excitement that we should have had for Book of Boba Fett, and it
Yeah.
didn't work. You know, we didn't get that. I'm like, oh, that was so sad. Then we go to Obi-Wan. It's like, all right, now we have something to be excited about. And then that's like, man, it's not where it needs to be. You have marquee characters in it. It's like, I'm like, why don't you give, Obi-Wan, which is a staple, a major influence, in the Star Wars lore. Why don't you put that same magic and energy in the writing when it comes to that show? And they didn't. You know what I mean? It was just like kind of rough. It was a rough ride. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, but it was still a rough ride. So I'm just like, you need to be more consistent with these shows, and then the community wouldn't be so divisive when it comes to, because they'll let you know whether or not they like it or not. So
Boba Fett was a big upset to me. Finally we finally all, Boba Fett he had very little screen time in the original, became one of the biggest, most liked characters. All these years passed, we finally get a standalone Boba Fett show, and I feel like they
let us down.
They let us down.
They let us down. It
really let us down.
It started out heavy, and I loved it. I love the simple fact that the relationship between him and the Tuscans. And I thought that they should have really, really settled into that. That made for a more interesting story. You know what I mean? Him, sort of like it was like a Dances with Wolves type of situation. You know what I mean? Where he's, raised, or not raised, but, nurtured back to health by the indigenous culture, the original people of that planet. You know what I mean? And, they kind of show them, they take him under their wing, show him, their ways, and he, in exchange, helps them to defend, you know what I mean? But then it's like that got brushed over rather quickly. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that should have been a space we should have existed in. They should have helped him, to achieve his goal and stuff like that. But they just, it didn't work. I'm like, oh, why did you just you abandon such an incredible start? You know what I mean? And then again, you just kept, I'm like, yo, he's a Mandalorian regardless. If he wants to believe he is in or not, but yo, why the hell does he keep taking his helmet off? Like, why do you keep showing his face? All right, we get it. It's, Tamora Morrison under the helmet. We know it's Boba, but you don't have to keep. And even he said it. He didn't like that. He's like, yo, I figured we shouldn't, why does he talk so much? He doesn't always do. He doesn't, that's not within his character.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, just let him exist in a space where he can be a badass and, still have compassion, but he doesn't have to do it in a way where it's just so obvious. And, you're completely showing all the vulnerability that this character has. It's like sometimes he needs to be shrouded in that mystery. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it still, but like you said, it was watered down for sure, like his character. Yeah. How about Bad Batch? Have you watched that? Or
man, I love the Bad Batch, bro.
See, you're one like me. I love it too. I hear a lot of people saying that they don't like this or that about it, but I mean,
I love the Bad. Here's the thing, bro. Like with that show, and this, you saw this latest episode, right?
Yeah,
incredible, incredible. It was like, Crosshair's his story, has been always one that's met with tragedy, and it was phenomenal. But again, I mean, it just it's crazy because I think he's, the thing about, Dave Filoni is he tries to find intricate ways to kind of, he's trying to find ways to really bring people in, but tie these stories together. He's trying to tie everything and weave everything together. And I love that aspect of it. But I think that for us, it's like, it's one of those things where everybody wants everything all at once. Like we just want it right there. Like we want this now. You know what I mean? We don't want to wait. We want it now. You know what I mean? I think sometimes you have to kind of pace yourself and just wait it out. And things that happen. But I mean, as far as, we have those filler episodes, of course, so we recognize that. But yeah, for the most part, I love the direction that they're taking. I love where they're going with it. I mean, it's like week to week. And the thing is, it's like once you start watching it, you can't stop. You have to continue to watch it because
that's how it happened to me. Yeah,
to finish it, like you have to finish it. So yeah, I love it, man.
You see, a lot of people say there's a lot of like too many side stories going on, but I mean that's just what it is. I mean, I don't know. It just it fits for them. I don't know. To me, I mean, I liked it a lot.
It because the thing is, there's side quests, and we understand it's like a video game. There's side quest is like all that, and like if you're a comic fan, there's like, you have the standalone, you have the story, but you have like a lot of standalone side quests, like a side issues that kind of complement it. But I think that's the same thing, that we get from, this story. But within those side quests, there's gems, there's certain things that are contributing to the main story. You know what I mean? You just have to kind of listen closely, look at it carefully, and you'll see how it all fits together. And I like how they've divided, right now, the crew, in so many cases. Like, I think in the very end they'll come back, but right now they're divided because they have a journey that they have to go on and that they have to be a part of. So I love it.
Yep.
So is there anything coming out this, that's been revealed that you just like cannot wait and you're dying for?
In the collecting community?
Yeah, in the collecting community.
Oh man, like both Wrecker and well, so far, Wrecker and Tech. I've actually seen that so far. I'm excited about it. Pre-order wise, like lately now, like there's so many figures that I'm waiting on now. Like, I mean, again, I'm still waiting on my Wanda from WandaVision. I'm waiting for them to announce that. I hope they do that. We still have, but at the same time, like right now, we're seeing a whole bunch of delays. Like a lot of people are getting those delayed notices. So I guess we just got to kind of wait it out. But I'm also interested to see because again, you got to keep in mind that we have the 20th anniversary of Clone Wars coming up.
Yep.
We have the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi, which I'm going to London. Me and Toy will be in London for Star Wars Celebration.
Ooh.
Nice. So yeah, this will be my first real time going to London. And experiencing that. Like we went to Celebration like last year in Anaheim, California, and when they made that announcement, I was like, oh man, what are we going to do? Toy's like, let's go. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, let's just go, let's just do it. And I was like, okay, well, let's see what we can do to make it happen. So then everybody that was there, we started booking our hotels automatically right then and there, and like, let's get it going. So yeah, I'm excited about it, bro.
Man, you're gonna have a blast, dude.
Yeah,
I hope so, man. That's what I'm praying for. It's coming up first week in April.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, do you go to ICCC at all down in Nashville? Have you ever been to that?
No, never.
No. Okay.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
It's, I know it's not Celebration because I know what that is, but ICCC is also like a Star Wars convention. I went last year and it was.
Oh, really?
It was insane, man.
Really?
It was insane. There's people there that you have the same interest with that you never even met, and it's like your best friends for years. And
really? So I'm gonna have to check that out. When is it? When normally? When is around? What time is it?
This year it's Memorial Day weekend, so the 24th to the 26th or something like that. I think it is 20, whatever that weekend is.
And it's in Nashville.
Yep. Yeah.
That's just more of an excuse to go to Nashville because I've never been to Nashville.
We're gonna go from the 24th to the 29th. So I think it might be the 25th. Maybe 26th, 27th, 28th, somewhere around that. But we're going the 24th to the 29th this year and try to do some other stuff around there. We're going to meet up. I never met Colin in person, so we're going to meet up there.
Got you, man. Yeah. It's funny how like we haven't, like a lot of us, like, well, that was the interesting part of going to like Celebration last year and then going to New York Comic Con because I had a chance to meet everybody, you know what I mean? Or meet not everybody, but majority of the people who follow our channels.
Right.
I was down in Anaheim, California. I met El Profesoro. It was so many individuals that I actually had a chance to meet and talk with. Raleigh Reviews, just a lot of them. CC3PO over there at Rogue 16, I had a chance to meet them. We all, had a blast and talked. My man Calvin, low-key collector, I had a chance to talk to him. But you get to meet so many people who follow your channel, you just never realized it. I'm like, wow, like these people actually like the content, and then it's once they meet you, they just find out that like you're the same person that you are live. You're no different. What I mean? And I like existing in that space, man. It's just incredible.
Yeah, when I was down ICCC, there's so many people that I follow on YouTube and things. Yeah. And then I saw them there, and I'm like, damn, man, there's this guy and that guy. And then I was talking to him. I didn't want to, I didn't want to be all up on him and all that, but But they were just like normal guys, man. They were
Yeah.
like welcoming and hey, what's up? Thanks for watching. And
bro.
it's not like a celebrity type thing, but it kind of is because you watch these people every week, and then you meet them in person. And it's cool, and everybody's just on the same page with this whole community for the most part.
Yeah, and you don't
should definitely
realize
look
you're
into
influenced.
ICCC though. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to do that, man, because I now I know that my boy Kiko, he lives down there. Kiko Flex, he's down there. So I would definitely hit him up and be like, yo, like, are you going? Like, what's going on? Like, what's going on down there? Let me know about it, because he's more so connected with it. And him being in Nashville, I mean, I know he's like, yeah, you gotta come check it out, bro.
Yeah, last year they had it at the hotel where we stayed. This year they got too big, so they have a big space, a really big space, and then they have like 3 host hotels or 4, something like that they give discounts through.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna do one of those hotels, and it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait.
It's a heck of a lot closer than London.
yeah, I can imagine. That's a bigger scale too. But damn, yeah. That someday maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
That's how all these conventions are getting. They're just getting bigger and bigger every year. It's amazing. I remember going and they were in bowling alleys. Now we're in the biggest venues in the city.
Bro. These conventions are huge now. Like, depending on where they are, like, every year, normally around October every year, I'm in New York Comic Con, so we're at the we're right there in Hell's Kitchen, always, in the thick of things. And it's a huge, like, literally, bro, it's such a huge convention. And you're just meeting so many different people. That's why I'm like, when they talk about Star Wars Celebration, I'm like, how come you've never been to New York? Like, how come you don't go to New York? You know what I mean? Because it's right there. And it just makes so much sense to do it, to be there. So, it's something that, really, like, I haven't been to SDCC in a long time. I went like 1 year. I think that was in 2014, and I haven't been back since. You know what I mean? It's because, timing. Also, now they made it a lot harder to get tickets. You know what I mean? So it's, Jacob Javits in New York is easy. You know what I mean? Like, we're right around the corner. Like, it's like literally we can just, do it and, get your tickets, book your hotel. You're ready. You're right there. Boom. You're ready to go. I got family that, so it's cool. But other than that, traveling from here, down to SDCC San Diego, bro, it's just like, it's harder. You know what I mean? Like, that's hard. And then you can't get tickets to get in. Like, sometimes you got to get on a waiting list, not a waiting list, but you become like normally doing a raffle, or you got to get in if you're registered for it. It's tough.
Yeah. I think I haven't been to San Diego or New York, but I really want to get to New York. I think I'd like the vibe better anyways.
Yeah. But New York Comic Con is just so laid back, man, and there's so many different walks of life. Normally when I go, I exist, I'm on the main floor. I very seldomly go to panels. I just want to be out there amongst the people. And then sometimes I'm down in Artist Alley, so I'm always existing down there. But I love it. You know what I mean? It's like I said, for us, it's an every year thing. It just becomes a standard.
Yeah. And being 2 hours away, that's not bad.
Not bad at all, bro. Like, right there.
I definitely want to start. I'm going to put that on my my yearly comic or convention list, because especially with doing all the YouTube stuff and everything now, I definitely want to get to
I would like to
at least one of the big cons.
Yeah. And the fun part, like I said, I get to experience that with Toya. Like, she's just right there with me when we go. It's always good to have somebody right there by your side, and they're like ready to get into it with you. So it's fun.
Yeah, that's my wife's going to ICCC with me too. Our friends going too. So when I'm in the convention, she'll, when I'm doing my own thing, she'll go hang out with her for a little bit, and she will come in for a little while and do things, but she'll be there with me in spirit anyway. So she'll take the ride down and take one for the team and hang out. And, even though she doesn't collect or anything, she's very supportive with it. So that's cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's crazy because Toya, she, sometimes she'll see a figure, she'll get it from me, but she got her own, like, The armor. So I have her armor down here with mine's here, but then she wanted to bring hers down because she doesn't have a display case to put it in. So I was like, I got you. Don't worry. I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the armor. I need the heavy Mando to put with it. There's just so much I want, man. It's just you can't get it all. But
I was surprised, man, because like I said, when that heavy Mando dropped a few years back, it was just an instant pre-order for me. I was like, yeah, boom, I have to have it. And I was surprised at how many people were selling theirs off. And I was like, wait, you might want to wait on that a little bit. Like, don't do it yet. Just wait, pump them brakes, don't do it. And people were still selling them. And I was like, wow. And then all of a sudden, Paz Vizsla pops up again. You know what I mean? And now he has more of a role in this thing. And it's like now people are trying to get it. I'm like, you shouldn't have. It's the same figure now. It's just the simple fact that they added a shield.
Yeah, and if somebody sells the first version, I'll buy that. I don't have to have that shield.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't need. That's why, like, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I can pass on that. I don't need that shield for at all.
Yeah, like even the Mando with the speeder bike on the shoulder and all that. I got the deluxe version. You got the regular version, if I remember correctly, right? You didn't want all that extra.
Yeah, nah. I didn't. All I got was the deluxe. Without the the additional accessories, because all I wanted was the head sculpt, the dark saber, and the spear. That's all I wanted. You know what I mean? That's all I needed, because I was gonna, my plan is to take the actual head sculpt and put it on the transport trooper that we got from season 2. So I was like, that makes more sense to me, especially if I wanted it. And it's funny though, because shout out to Nick. Did you get do you have the Mando yet?
I do, yeah.
You have the best car. You have the chrome, and the deluxe.
Yeah.
So now, all right. So let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the weathering on it?
I didn't really have any complaints about it, honestly. Yeah. I thought it was okay. I mean,
yeah.
I
had to watch. So what I did was I watched a few episodes, and I was like, well, they call it Chrome Mando, but it's not really. It's like a matte chrome, even on the show. You know what I mean? It's not fully chrome. So what I was gonna do was use this, because Nick put me onto this to kind of make it more of a chrome. But I'm like, okay, but I'm nervous too now, because I'm like, I don't want to mess up the actual armor. Yeah. I don't want that over time there might be certain things that happen to it. So that's why I'm like, I haven't done it yet. I might just leave it the way it is now.
It's scary enough to figure that expensive,
bro. Scary. It's just too expensive for me to go ahead and touch. So I was like, yeah, you know what? Let me just fall back, and I'll just, I'll use this another day on something else. So,
what is that right there?
It's like the oil medium odorless thinner mineral spirits from U.S. Art Supply. So you can actually get this at your local shop, or you can order it. It's expensive, but
I guess it comes down to how much does it bother you,
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't bother me enough where I need to kind of tamper with it. I think I'll just let it slide. And
right.
And I mean, with the lights on, and I'm looking at it now with the lights on and the DTOF. I mean, it's chrome enough for me. I don't really have to, I don't really want to mess with that, I mean,
that's why I'm kind of scared. I'm like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I got him posed up exactly what I want him with all his stuff, and it took a while to do that. It was a little nerve wracking for a minute, because you don't want to break shit, but it's like,
man, that's the fun part.
Breaking shit.
Let them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when it takes a long time. It's like you actually feel like you got something,
Yeah.
The posing portion of it is just like always the, it's the fun part. Now for me, like it gets annoying because I have to do when I do my take your position videos, it's like, okay, finding those intricate poses. How long do I want the video to be, long or short? If I have a companion piece with it, how do I want the dynamics and the chemistry between those things? It has to be like a pull and push type of situation with those characters. How to make it, kind of give it that realism. So it's definitely crazy.
Right. Yeah, we had a couple guys on here now that Duffman had mentioned them. Joel Haze and a couple other people we've had on, they customize stuff. So I don't know if you follow these guys, but they're on. Do you ever watch Spice Runners Lounge at all?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, those guys. There's some really talented people in that group, and we've been having them on. A few of them. We got a few more coming on in a few weeks here. But, some of the stuff they do is just incredible. And,
bro. Yeah, bro. And it's incredible. And I know for them, sometimes they might feel as though it's time consuming, but for them, they enjoy it so much, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't think it even bothers them a little bit that it takes time, because they got like a one of one when they're done. It's a beautiful piece of art.
Definitely.
So it's kind of tough, like looking at all that stuff, and you want some of it, and I'm like, man, I gotta tone it down. Like, you can't do it all at once, but you want to. But it's fun.
Definitely.
So if you're listening on Apple, go follow 1/6 Scale Man on YouTube and on Instagram. And anything you want to plug or say before we let you out of here for the day, because we appreciate your time, man.
Oh man, no problem, man. Bro, thank you for having me, bro. It was such a good time this morning.
Went by fast.
Yeah, definitely. I had a good time chatting with you guys.
Thanks,
if you haven't subscribed, everybody out there, you can subscribe to me at the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel. Also the same name on Instagram. It's 1/6 Scale Man 2099. Twitter as well. You can actually find me there. Good content. Tomorrow we got Collectors Lounge International, 12 o'clock p.m. So you can actually check us out there. Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday, 9:15. Say What on Wednesday, 9:15 as well. Uncivilized Scoundrels every other Thursday, where we talk Star Wars, episodes of Mando, everything that's going on in the cinematic universe as well. And we go back to the lore. We just kind of go through everything there. And then, of course, Figure Flex Friday. So thanks a lot, man. I mean, I got a couple videos that I'm going to be dropping this week. I'm going to take a position on the WandaVision Vision and The Vision. So basically, I'll have those prepped and ready to go. So, yeah, man.
Busy man. All them shows are amazing, man. So I try to watch as many as I can, man. So keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate
if you go to
man.
ITCC, let us know. We'll meet up.
Yeah, bro. I'm definitely, like I said, I'll talk to Toya about it, because I know she's that one of our biggest things is that we wanted to get to Nashville. You know what I mean? I know she wants to go to Nashville. We hear so much about it, so
it's fun.
Definitely gotta do it, bro.
Yeah,
we're definitely gonna have to have you back on, because there's so much more we could talk about that we didn't even touch base on. So we'll reach out to you for that.
Yeah.
Not only are we on Apple, but we're on Spotify now too. So,
that's what's up, bro. Hell yeah.
I will put all of 1/6 Scale Man's information in the description, so you guys can find them. Definitely check out his shows. Like I said, not only are the shows good, but everybody that's in the chat usually is a good group of people.
Bro.
So
good group of people, very
it
interactive.
makes it a lot more enjoyable when you can have a
bro.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that I can
have
that controlled atmosphere and it's not even controlled. It's just naturally everybody's in love with collecting.
Yeah.
And they have such a good time. And there's not any backbiting or people going at each other.
Yep.
It's such a good space. And I think that's because we have good people on the show. And, everybody has that love, and that banner back and forth is so important. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's too much negativity already. We don't need that shit,
We don't need it anymore, bro. That's what I'm saying. Create that positive space. They said you build it and they'll come. So that's what we try to build. I try to build everything on the channel itself, just to create that positive atmosphere for them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely. Yeah. So hang out with us backstage for 1 second before you get out, if you don't mind. And so that's going to do it for this week. I can't thank you enough for giving us your time. We'll definitely have to have you back on, man.
No problem.
It was so much fun talking to you,
we
and didn't even get into all we wanted to get into.
No problem.
So that definitely has to happen. I'll also get with you behind the scenes about that mental health thing. So that's it. Thanks everybody in the chat for joining and being interactive this morning, and thank you again, Lael, for joining us. And for now, that's what effing figures, and we'll see you next week.